Who is he really? A brilliant savior of humanity, a madman, or a deeply lonely person trapped inside his own hyper-responsible mind? Elon Musk runs space corporations, builds massive factories, reshapes global technology, and works 120 hours a week, having essentially given up on sleep and a personal life. Society is obsessed with his wealth and success, while psychology tries to explain his productivity through high motivation and time management. But if we strip away the glossy veneer and look into his subconscious through the lens of classical psychoanalysis, we find a completely different picture. Elon Musk's manic race to Mars isn't just business. It's a grand psychological compensation for severe childhood trauma and his official Asperger's syndrome diagnosis. His mind operates in a state of constant defense against inner pain, turning the scars of his past into nuclear fuel to change civilization. Today, we'll take off the masks and break down 4 hidden signs of how Elon Musk's unique psyche is wired and how his internal barriers created the most influential person on the planet. Sign 1. Asperger's syndrome as a superpower. Ego isolation. The first sign is the unique structure of his brain, which society mistakenly views as mere eccentricity. Musk has openly admitted that he has Asperger's syndrome, a disorder on the autism spectrum. In childhood, this condemned him to total misunderstanding by his peers, deep isolation, and brutal bullying at school, where he was once beaten unconscious. His ego was forced to build a thick mental wall just to survive. People with Asperger's don't perceive the world through emotions and empathy, but through pure logic, physics, and algorithms. Where an ordinary person might succumb to panic, fear, or public opinion, Musk's subconscious engages cold calculation. His emotional isolation has turned into a wild mental filter. He sees the world as a set of engineering problems. Musk has mastered his mental trait, turning a social disability into the ultimate environment for hacking reality. Sign 2. Hypercompensation for childhood pain. Rebellion against his father. The second sign is his eternal, unconscious attempt to prove his strength to the main figure of his childhood nightmares, his own father. Musk grew up under the psychological pressure of Elon Musk, who, by Elon's account, was a despotic, emotionally harsh man who constantly told his son he would never achieve anything and would remain a nobody. In the fundamental psychology of Alfred Adler, this is known as an inferiority complex. When a child is methodically destroyed morally, they have 2 paths: to break and hit rock bottom, or to trigger a fierce hypercompensation. Every SpaceX rocket launch, every social network bought, and every billion in Elon's account is an unconscious cry from a scared little boy directed at his father. Look at who I am, and look at what I've achieved. Despite your words, Musk turned that suffocating childhood resentment into an endless source of pure, driving energy. Sign 3. Manic control, the savior complex. The third sign is his total, almost painful need to control the future of all humanity. Musk is genuinely obsessed with the idea that civilization is in danger, from the threat of artificial intelligence and a demographic crisis to the destruction of the planet. He has taken on the role of a messiah who must save humanity by colonizing Mars. From a psychoanalytic perspective, this massive altruism is the flip side of deep-seated fear and helplessness. A child who could not control the violence at school or the despotism at home grows up trying to seize control over the entire globe. Musk's subconscious is terrified of chaos and vulnerability. To drown out this inner fear, he creates colossal structures to manage reality. His savior psychology is a mental shield. By saving humanity, he is unconsciously trying to save and protect himself. The fourth sign is the rationalization of workaholism as an escape from inner silence. The fourth sign is his frightening 120-hour work week, which he beautifully rationalizes as a higher mission. Musk sleeps on the floor of his factories, doesn't know how to rest, sacrifices personal relationships, and pushes his physical body to the point of total exhaustion. He takes pride in this and promotes it as the only path to success. But let's be honest, this intense workaholism is a classic psychological escape from himself. Musk's mind is such a scorching, humming machine, filled with inner conflicts, traumas, and syndromes, that if he were to stop for even one day, turn off his phone, and sit in absolute silence, that darkness would immediately overwhelm him. Work for him is a legal drug, a powerful anesthetic that allows him to keep his attention on external tasks around the clock, just to avoid looking inside his own tormented ego. In conclusion, I want to say that Elon Musk's story proves a brilliant law of psychoanalysis. Our greatest achievements often grow out of our deepest and most terrifying wounds. You don't have to be perfect or psychologically sterile to change this world. Your complexes, your syndromes, and your childhood traumas can either bury you alive or become your greatest evolutionary advantage. Stop suffering over your scars. Stop complaining about a difficult childhood, injustice, or your mental quirks. Learn to sublimate your inner pain into creative drive. Hack your mental code, understand yourself, and run the world.